All right, everybody. This is game two, grand finals, the 2024 Wargroove Championships. And Mastro is a game up right now going into this finals match against Saykoya. And Saykoya picking Tenri again. What do you two think about that?
Um, I think I made my point clear that even though it might not be a necessarily optimal pick, it really does fit into Sequoia's game plan of kind of just out grinding Mastro, or grinding enough to keep it even and then timering Mastro.
Makes sense. How about you,
Yeah.
Sparky?
Tenri, being to 50 charge less, you can get a bit of tempo with her, and also there's a lot of power with the thread for groove that hopefully forces Mastro to play more passive. Volumes are
Well,
very strong.
Mastro's gonna
Yeah,
be playing aggressive regardless because
because it's also Zawan.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
on it,
You want to
yeah,
be bullying Tenri as quick as possible.
yeah. So like, well, I guess when I say force,
Respect the
punish,
groove, yeah.
yeah, punish Mastro if he overextends into it. Okay, mage first for Mastro. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Forcing Mastro to play sharper means that Mastro will take longer to play turns, meaning that Saykoya might be able to get a timer advantage off of it.
Yep.
Which is a solid game plan.
Yeah. Looks like both people are going for center opening. Mastro almost took a game off Koya with this in their first match in this tournament. Their first in this tournament, and now it looks like neither of them want to get jumped by each other in middle.
Oh, interesting difference here from the two players. We got a dog coming out on Saykoya's side, mage coming out on Mastro's side.
Yeah.
I think we've been seeing a lot of dogs come out from Saykoya whenever they're playing Henry, so that's to me surprising. Because even though they provide a lot of utility, it's just hard to justify them sometimes if you don't have the correct timing on them. And Mastro very often complains about this, where they buy dog in the opening and then like regret it later because it was the wrong turn to buy them, and it's very hard to tell when the correct turn is. So interesting to see if this dog pays off or not.
Yeah.
Seeing this mage buy coming in here, which actually I think makes a lot of sense. Like you look at his capture route early game, it grabs the hideout, it can grab that village after as well, or it can just
I
go up
presume
north as well.
I presume Rifleman is on this map, right?
Yes,
Yes.
it's one per hideout.
Yes, one per hideout. Okay, that's interesting.
I actually rarely see rifle built on this map. But that's
Um,
mainly because its board state just doesn't have.
Rifle becomes more relevant later in the
Yeah.
game whenever
I don't see the game stall enough on this map.
yeah, it's really good. Indirects are really good when the game stalls. You
Yeah.
might even.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't think
rifles. Yeah.
it doesn't really look like Trev will come out on this map. Looks like it would be really slow for that, but
Yeah. It's gotta put a lot of terrain to make sure it just stays in the corner like forever.
it looked like you could reasonably get out archers instead.
Yeah.
I mean,
Archers are-
Henry Treb though is a thing.
It is a thing.
Oh.
Oh, sneaky.
Hello, Sneaky.
Oh, hello, Sneaky.
Glad you could join us.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably it is value, but you have to be generating a lot of value from using the Treb that turn.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, can be done, but it's not easy. I think it's just too much of a sink into like one idea. If that makes
Yeah.
any sense.
Too committal to the tribe idea, which can go very wrong if you get overwhelmed because you built it.
Yeah, for as much as people hate trebuchets, they are very frail.
I mean, yeah, their biggest issue nowadays isn't even that they don't do stuff, it's that they require a pretty specific circumstance to come out on the board, because they require positioning and the board to be safe for it, and for it to be out on the field quick enough for it to get value before your army takes too many losses. It's a whole mess.
Yeah.
It's strong in a vacuum, but it's hard to get working on more competitively designed maps, I would say. Because we have this whole push-pull two front kind of thing that happens on a lot of maps.
And we're now seeing at this point in the game where it's really starting to slow down a lot.
There's something interesting that I see Mastro do a lot is sometimes sends Knight up first to like I would say their weaker corner. Which makes sense. But yeah. Like Koya went for the Knight that is more poised to go like center. First, as well as now Mastro goes that position on the side of the barracks. Mastro, yes. Koya could still have gone like somewhat south with it, but yeah, Mastro went committed to going hard north with his first Knight.
This could be a little bit problematic because Saykoya now owns, I think, both corner villages.
Yeah, like there are swords in the bottom left that are gonna eventually retake that village. It's actually gonna take them a couple turns to do so. But yeah, Saykoya's up on economy by quite a wide margin there.
Koya's up by
not
one village. It's
Uh,
13 to 11.
Yeah, but he's still got stuff he could capture.
Yeah.
And this knight is covering the sword if it goes for this village here.
Yeah.
I like Mastro has good targets now though. That's the thing. Like that
Also,
the
Mastro's-
village where yeah?
Mastro's gonna be taking top right because he mobilized this Knight first.
Yeah. That's part the knight is out on the field. The CO will probably thwack that Vil and decap it, and that's like nice. He has just a lot of targets. So maybe I'm not entirely convinced that the eco lead here is worth for Saykoya right now.
We're going to find out 1500 to 1100 at the start of Mastro's turn. How well is he going to be able to flip some of this?
Yeah. I think Koya's still gonna be ahead on money this turn, but I don't think the following turn he will be.
Yeah. I think this seems like overextending. There's knights coming in, but they might be a little too slow.
I mean, actually, looking at the money, Saykoya banked as well, so I think we're going to see Dragon come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Maybe
kind
the
of
idea is to have enough army to slow Zawan down.
I mean, there's only one mage, so
Yeah. Dragon's really good on this map because there's so much room and so many different fronts that you either have to consolidate possibly earlier than you want to, or have to build way more anti-air than you want to against Tenri.
There's only one mage, however, Mastro doesn't really need to buy many more knights, so a mage buy whenever they see the dragon could be reasonable. Or even a preemptive mage buy this turn. And
Yeah, 'cause
also
you don't
it
want
looks it looks
Don't want your
entirely
bottom left
uncontested.
snuffed out. Don't want your bottom left or your middle to get snuffed out immediately.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess one thing is because of this like equal lead for the short term, Koya's gonna be able to get out of big units, but I don't think Mastro could bank like mid sword and then could be next turn, but it's a bit rougher for him. Slightly.
Oh, what does Saykoya even have on the field? Like,
They're basically
it's
equal
knights.
units now.
Yeah, it's just mostly knights. So your counter options are air, more knights, or pikes. And I don't think pikes are the right decision here. I think it's too slow for this.
Yeah,
for with all
Tycoon
these
is-
knights around.
Tycoon's a bit too slow at this point in the map.
Yeah. So I think we're either gonna see knights or like a save round because the Mastro is technically can have the lead for knights if they wanted. But I think we're probably gonna see a mage buy here. Mage sword is what I would predict, if not like knight sword again.
Yeah.
They could do both. They could buy mage knight, but
I guess the
Not
question
very-
is, do you want to go Mage Knight because you're against Tenri as well, so you don't want to invest into your own big thing?
yeah. Mastro predicting the dragon buy, yeah, and another knight.
Yeah, so this
seems
does
reasonable.
this gives you a knight for every corner,
Yes.
which is
I
also
mean, you have a knight at every
For every
front,
front.
and you can also overload one front to have a protected knight.
There's Dragon.
Okay, ooh, nice kill on that sword. And that dog actually going to be fairly difficult to dislodge. Because like
Actually,
the knight
yeah.
ideally wants to hit that village.
It also does some one-shot in Forest.
Yeah, there's no crit available, so...
Well, I think the thing about that dog is that you don't deal with it. What else is that dog gonna do? The dog did its job.
I guess it would hit the mage, potentially, if it goes for the capture on the Vil, so...
I think maybe it's possible for the mage to position in a way that the dog can't reach it. And then after this turn, you can cap with the mage after bonking the dog. Because a mage getting hit for a little bit doesn't really matter that much. Because it's not like Balloon is super common right now. And the mage can always heal itself later, so...
Sure.
I really like Saykoya's center positioning. It's creating some interesting threats. You could maybe see like some kind of stronghold tactic in a couple turns with that second knight if it crosses center.
Yeah.
Potentially. However, Mastro's probably not going to veer too far off from the center themselves.
Yeah.
So I'd even be willing to say they're probably going to thwack that village.
Center's pretty nice in this map because it does actually have a good amount of eco to it.
Oh,
Okay,
close
they
to the
killed
dog.
a dog. Interesting play.
I
Maybe
guess
there's
that's because you can still decap the village next turn.
Yeah. You could even see that maybe they want to go take another Vil more aggressively. Maybe it's just not worth the tempo right now to go decap that Vil.
Yeah.
Witch buy here for the dragon, I presume.
Yeah.
I didn't see if Saykoya bought it or not, but the witch is
Yeah,
coming
dragon.
out.
Yeah, Koya Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon and double sword.
And actually, Witch is really useful if your enemy puts their commander in center, you know, like we saw the last game. That is a nice way to help guarantee kills. So, deals with the dragon and also puts on lethal pressure.
Yeah, Mastro seems to be preparing for Saykoya's Tenri air spam tactics. They have 3 mages and 1 witch to deal with a single dragon.
Yeah. But what else are you gonna buy is the thing. More
Yeah.
knights?
Yeah, you're spread very thin on this map, and you need to consider Tenri.
The map doesn't look that big, but because it's a square map, the front is really large because it's a full diagonal here. So it's deceptively large, I would say.
So this is mildly difficult to cross into center from the sides as well, because of all the terrain.
The terrain actually opposes the front, so you really notice it here.
This is like that awkward territory where Greenfinger has groove, but Tenri doesn't quite have it yet.
You need to respect it slightly.
Okay, dragon to cover. The village kills. I think we are going to see the decap now.
Yeah, top right, yeah.
Because the dragon's just going to prevent the knight from doing much, and econ is nice. What is the econ at right now?
Take a look, 1300 to
12.
1200, so...
Yeah.
Relatively even, and what are the grooves at?
65% on Tenri, 106 on
Add-
Greenfinger.
I think that's a pretty significant groove lead.
156 versus 130 in absolute.
Yeah.
And it's also, yeah, because I think, I guess Tenri has been one less smack than Zawan?
Yeah, with this opening, Zawan got an extra Vil hit, I think. So, uh, and
Actually, also
it's Tenri's turn, so it's probably not going to go much higher than that. Whereas Zawan can maybe do some fighting to get more out of it.
I guess also Koya lost 2 units on the sides, which is like 12 groove each.
Yeah.
That could have been it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Making the good old anti-Zawan block formation. Then again, there's like Dragon here, so that's not that one really. But anyways.
Oh, that positioning on the knight's amazing, by the way. Nothing threatens it.
Yeah, the one that decap bottom hill.
Yeah.
I guess technically you could surround it here.
Yeah, I was thinking swords.
Yeah, the dragon doesn't reach, so...
Yeah, it's a scary position to be in, I'd say.
Yeah, so yeah, it would be... Actually, yeah, a top sword and mage don't reach.
Ooh.
Oh, right, that doesn't decap. What was it?
1%.
It took 2% damage. Damn. Okay.
That really is unfortunate, but I think
Oh,
it has
'cause
to
of
be
the
done
dog.
too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it had dog.
Wow. The dog did more. The dog overpaid for itself because of that. Because
Yeah.
that's what? That's like 100 extra value just from having the decap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
the dog-
actually slows
100,
grooves as
100
well.
value. Yeah, it doesn't get the cap. It dealt something like 90 damage to the knight. I mean 90 gold damage to the knight.
Well, interesting. I thought Mastro would go for a tactic here where they surround the knight with swords, use the mage to cap the village, and then send the knight below the 7 village to take it out. It
That's what I
builds
was thinking
groove,
as well.
knocks the village, traps the knight.
Maybe Mastro
guess-
is just trying to play solidly here. Because they do have the timer disad right now, it looks like.
Yeah. It's also the question of you can't kill the knight that turn, so you need to make sure.
Yeah, you'd have to crit the
Something
tile that it
messy to-
escapes, I would say.
Yeah.
Or like a tile that you can get to, which could be precarious because it's a very thin formation here.
Yeah. Oh, if you do that blocking idea, I think the mage dies because the knight goes over the river.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's true.
So yeah, that loses 1 year anti-air. When Tenri is actually she's still somewhat far off the groove, but
I mean,
this
you
dragon.
If you kill mage, then you can bring other stuff to just kind of reinforce that position as well. And then
Yeah.
You can
Tenri
start buying a lot of
potentially-
harpies, yeah.
Yeah, Tenri starts to get kind of close to having groove as well.
Yeah, so it starts to get messy. Also, first golem from Koya.
Okay, that means they lose this time, right? We amended the rule.
And actually, Mastro not in the income range to get their own golem. So Saykoya's down on unit count. Like he definitely lost a couple things here and there, but he has a golem and a dragon.
But yeah,
No.
I think this is gonna be we're gonna see a lot of the tempo shift now, or not tempo, the initiative shift. With Zawan mustering their forces now and pushing back. Well, Sequoia's gonna try and get free vills if they can. Like
They're
this.
going
Order.
what is that sneaky?
So by striking with the dragon instead of Tenri, Saykoya just charged themselves a lot of groove for 100 gold. Think about it. In this position, you really want Tenri to get to groove to match Greenfinger. Saykoya could have attacked the village with Tenri, and that would have been a lot more groove. Instead, chose to hit with the dragon first and cap with Tenri. That's 100
this
gold next
gets-
turn.
This gets 19 groove this turn versus 20 for the hit. Not
I think
bad.
I think it's worth just on the principle that it slows Mastro down.
No, it's 11. It's 11 instead of 20, not 19.
Wait, what?
Because with this extra Vil, that's like 2 extra units that are no longer gonna have to be worrying about Tenri.
It's sneaky. You get 9 from decapping the Vil, and you get
2 for the
10
cap.
from capping.
Oh, 10 for capping with Commander?
Yes.
Oh.
It's also
oh.
4 normally, so that would be less for Commander if that was the case.
No, it's 2 normally.
No, it's 4 normally. I have it open right now in the codex, and I also do know that's how it works.
Now, capping is 2. I'm 100% sure.
I've
Look at
got
these nerds
many
fighting
people
over
saying
numbers.
4. So. Ooh, balloon. Interesting.
Who cares? Who cares about numbers when we see Pike Balloon coming out? Okay, that's my take.
So I think this makes a lot of sense. You're going up against someone that can drop lots of vines, so Pike Balloon is good for unit count, and they're good at damaging vines.
Yeah. Also, Mastro now has 4 knights out.
Yeah, it also, even though it doesn't overload air right now, you could subtly start doing that because of how many balloons there are on the field after a certain point.
Yeah, and Saykoya still up on economy. Despite losing both corners. Although that one hero dog, honestly. Because,
Yeah, surprisingly very effective.
yeah, because actually, yeah, not only is it the 100 gold for that village, but it's also like the damage the knight took as well.
Yeah, it took like 90 gold of damage.
So yeah, the
Delayed
dog
village.
dog basically overpaid for itself, which is like you love to see it. That's what you want.
Also, yeah, one unit's gonna have to stay here for longer, so worse positioning.
Yeah.
Dog also killed something on the way out. It killed a sword. So yeah, all around good. All around good doggo. Right.
Okay. I think we're probably going to see Mastro shuffle up a little bit here to match Tenri moving over here.
Yeah. Guess you could go center.
Ooh, Knight crit on the village. I don't see a counter Knight crit on it, so...
Nope. Just normal knighthead.
Yeah. So probably can just set up a Knight crit on that, and then, like, what are they going to do? It'd be really bad to hit it.
I'm trying to think whether the knight bottom left comes into the forest to guard it or not.
Yeah, that's what
Or
I'm
just
thinking.
stay. Yeah, it's either that or they stay like bottom left to keep these villages like more protected.
I mean, I like it in the
Probably better to pull
forest.
center.
I like it in the forest just because
It keeps it like
it's a
available.
little more active, and you're threatening a lot of decaps if you put it there, because it can hit the 4 village. You have swords coming in, so even if you trade your cornerville, or not even your cornerville, but even if you trade like one ville,
Yeah, you still have a valid. You still have a good hit with it. regardless.
exactly, and it decentivizes the knights from going there because you're starting to encroach because it's their weak side.
Oh right, you can just block with sword there. Yeah, okay, that just
Yep.
makes it super good.
You can block with both swords too. No, they're just gonna block with one.
And
Okay.
because knight protects the other vill, the bottom left one is the only one that's out of reach.
It is a free sword,
Oh.
though.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to. That's why I would have body blocked, because it would have been a little more
that's what I mean.
painful to deal with.
Ooh, dragging from Mastro.
I think Dragon's actually a great buy here. Even though they bottom age, the Dragon's probably gonna bully the Knights away quick enough. So that weak front is looking very tasty for Mastro. However, the same can be said about Mastro's
Upright.
side. Yeah.
Tenri does not improve this turn, right? Yeah, 51 is. I don't think so.
Yeah, there's like one unit kill for free. Don't think there's any like big combat this turn.
I see 4 kills, but that's not enough. And that's if you go all in.
Take a quick look at the economy. So flipped over now. Mastro heads by 2 Actually, only one village, I guess. But I had 200 income.
Yeah.
It's interesting to
curious
see
to s-
Mastro up on unit count, considering Greenfinger Vines haven't even entered the field yet.
Yeah. I think there was some discussion about Saykoya.
Koya
Koya's
stacked some
opening being a
units in the
little,
corners for tempo.
yeah, a little suspect, but it's probably gonna see the outcome of that soon. It's also that Golem hasn't really gotten to do anything yet, which
Yeah.
once it gets
It-
on the front line, it's very nice. But
It is guarding the knights at least this turn.
yeah, fighting can actually commence now that the Golem is has arrived.
Yep.
But the counter dragon there is probably gonna start harassing villages on the side, if I had to guess. Something to that effect.
I'm assuming Balloon's gonna walk like 2 forward, and it'll pick up like double spear. That's a really awkward place for those flagstone.
Yeah.
Slows down reinforcements a lot.
Couldn't you move the balloon farther if it has anything in it already? It doesn't have
You
anything
could.
in it.
But yeah. Then if you want to get a double spear in there, it has to go kind of like awkwardly.
Yeah.
Unless you double build spear on the turn, you get it. There
Okay.
it goes there.
Ooh.
Yeah, spear
Okay.
can enter
Not a
move.
Terrabo, but still the counter witch here to probably fight on the other end.
Yeah, since you both have dragon, might as well.
Yeah.
Both have dragon, both have witch.
And if you're Tenri, just snipe all the air.
Yeah.
Which
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
if you
I'm
can
scared.
yoink your opponent's dragon or your opponent's witch, that's like a huge deal.
yeah.
On a very passive
Saykoya.
turn from Saykoya up in the north, which I guess makes sense. He doesn't want to like dedicate too much.
Yeah, not really any heavy unit here yet, so the spears will be nice.
Yeah, we still have yet to see where the golem could still wrap around. They could front switch right now if they chose to. So even though they are guarding the knights, if Mastro doesn't pressure there, the golem's probably going to switch sides. Because
Yeah,
it doesn't
that's
really look like Mastro has great options other than the dragon that's in the background.
Going for a hit on the village.
Softening it up so you can take up next turn with the swords.
I like the dog here. I think the dog is really good support.
I feel like
Starts-
This map is nice because you're kind of stretched thin, so sometimes you don't have good like heavy units in every area. So I feel like
Yeah.
dog it helps a lot more on this map.
I mean, it's also a very diagonal map, and that benefits dog because of how their crit
Yeah.
works.
And
Yeah,
actually,
It's also a wide map too.
thinking about just playstyle, like both of these players are the types that will. Oh wow, that's a lot of knight pressure suddenly on the stronghold. Sorry, I was just gonna
It's
say.
pressure, though.
I mean, you have to do something to defend the stronghold, though. You can't just leave that. But
You have knights though.
yeah, but then they're forced to come back and defend, and you lose the village for quite a while. It's actually really difficult to dislodge that one.
That is a thief steal though, possibly.
It is a thief steal. That's true. I was gonna say another thing about dogs as well is there's a very heavy playstyle bias towards swords on this because both of them like to, make skips. As far as like not skipping like building out of a racks, but just being like I'm gonna bank for a turn and then build heavy units for 3 turns after.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure over a pretty long amount of time, even if it means you have like a weak turn or two because of it. Especially with knights, it's very worth doing it because knights can really quickly get to the front. So you might have like a weak turn, but like the next 3 turns, you're crusading over getting all the villages instead.
True. But I mean, my point is that it forces a lot more sword buys, which dogs do quite well against. And we actually see double dog on the side of Mastro. I think they're both recognizing that there's a heavy sword count coming out.
I'm amazed we're seeing Mastro build any dogs at all. They're known for spamming swords and big units, but they have more dogs than Saykoya.
They buy dog from time to time.
It's also how
It
many
is-
Zawan Diddles has Mastro played recently? Because dog is weaker into that.
Interesting. I don't know. Every time I see usually I see Mastro lose whenever they buy dogs. It's really funny because they like to complain about it, but they
Dogs are
know when to
very
buy a dog normally, which I definitely say a lot of swords strewn about, and as well as there's a mage, so dogs still have pressure on a valuable target. Say, other than swords, dogs are really good at hitting mages because they have the same movement. Mages and archers, but we don't see any archers right now, so.
I have a question. Could you just dive on Tenri here? And like
No.
throw green finger vines up?
that does not.
I think Tenri can get out, and Tenri's on mountain, so Tenri's not going to take much damage from actually hitting her.
Yeah.
I
also
don't think
very
I don't
awkward
think you
place to
actually hit
hit her.
Tenri. I think you just like put pressure on, like hex, put vines up to support, and then. have
Going
the
for
rest of the
Temple
arms.
Groove is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I feel like Tenri can just sit there. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
That was what I would wager. Like Saykoya can continue their plan with trying to pressure the top right. Let Tenri sit there. You have Pike Balloon coming, so you're not in a super big rush. And as long as Mastro doesn't commit a lot to attacking the area that Tenri's in, Tenri doesn't have to do anything. So you'd be committing a lot for I don't know what you'd be getting in return. Maybe like a village or two.
And you'd be severely weakening yourself. Like Tenri's tier 1's about to come online. Just having Greenfinger Groove is like, okay, you yoink my witch, I trap your dragon and kill it with my mage. Like, you have a counter to whatever Tenri does. You can protect your stronghold, go aggro, change the battlefield. You kind of don't want to dump that on, I stop you from moving, but don't really kill you and your swords murder all my vines.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we see Mastro kind of just backing up anyway. I think, these two villages are probably going to get flipped.
Being asked if this is a dog map, I would say it has a lot of attributes that make dogs subtly better.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's even opening science, potentially.
Yeah.
Because of what happened in the top right. Although.
Doug is always like a weirdly awkward unit, I would say.
Yeah. They're hard to make work, but they're very nice to have when they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I spammed the heck out of them in my match on this thing.
Yeah.
And the Caesar assassination.
Caesar,
I mean,
very thematically as well, like really likes dogs.
it's the extra movement, right?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah, they go up to
7
70
movement
range.
And they crit, yeah.
Intercontinental dog missile.
True. They also suicide very easily too, which is really good for lethals.
It's nice in the center. Because there is actually beach there.
Mm-hmm. I will add, though, I like what Saykoya is doing a little better with the pike balloon, because if you can get a sufficient mass of pikes against a sufficient mass of dogs, the dogs can only attack first if you have the initiative, but Saykoya has the initiative. So Saykoya can put aggressive pikes and prevent the dogs from ever going in, and they die if they do.
Also, by the way, counter golem for Mastro now. So we'll see how this.
Okay, so we're probably getting into the middle game at this point, I would say. Definitely out of the opening.
Yeah.
We see a golem from Mastro, equaling the golem fight. And honestly, I like this golem a little more. It doesn't have to walk as much to get to a useful front. Compared to Saykoya's, theirs is still marching. Theirs has been marching for about 2 or 3 turns at this point, where Saykoya is gonna get theirs out in like 2. So.
Okay, Golem goes back to defend strongholds and cover this knight.
This is gonna be another golem build from Koya.
Probably.
Or is it gonna be more air? Could be the possibility of like maybe like Harpy Knight something, but I think Golem's probably better.
I'm actually surprised Saykoya is being so passive. I expected them to like all in the bottom left side.
I think if you buy Harpy, you go double sword and get golem next turn.
And save. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I also feel like you want a thief at some point. Not this
Yeah,
turn.
keep that bill around just for the extra steal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Because
that's
you
like
can buy it
that's
now.
a turn 1 steal, and you walk back in 2 turns.
Yeah, you can get a net. You can get the thief next turn because there is a night crit lined up on the, which is not really worth it. But actually, do you still buy it this turn because it isn't worth it to night crit it? Possibly.
Yeah, you get bopped in return, but I don't know. Just don't give him a free target to hit. Don't
Yeah.
even like you can buy that at pretty much any time the night is gone, right?
Yeah. This does get off the steal faster though, so even though the knight could decap this following turn, you already get the steal, so you don't like give the village a free turn.
I don't even know if the thief here is worth it because the thief is still a lot of gold in order to.
Yeah.
It's like you're sinking a lot of gold into a unit that gives you like profit 3 turns later. It's dubious to see how worth it is compared to just buying like a golem.
Yeah.
Koya also has a lot more in the corner already, so like he's gonna be able to naturally decap a lot of this stuff very quickly.
Yeah, actually, another factor as well is thieves don't give you charge
Groove.
on your groove. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's at tier 1, which is kind of where you want to be with Tenri. Oh, but thief comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, thief is the right call. So the reason you build thief here is because you can make it worth its gold in a single turn. So the next turn, Mastro loses 400 gold from the thief hit. Yes, the knight could decap for 100 gold, but instead you use the knight to zone out the other knight. You position crits on the other villages. You defend it with the golem, and now you've taken 1 village. You're threatening 2. You can definitely fight the knight. It's so good.
I guess the big thing here is that you can just save round this round, and then instead of getting like a harpy or something, you can see that Saykoya got a mage, and I bet that they also got a sword, so they probably
Doggo.
saved money. Huh?
They got a doggo. They got a doggo. So yeah, basically.
Yes, same difference, yeah. So they just take this as their save round, so it might be a little more efficient this turn to actually buy the thief to save later.
Alright, golem comes out.
Second golem.
Oh, yeah, just like golem printer goes burr. Alright, here's a question: is groove a possibility? Like tier 2 groove a possibility for Zawan?
You need 46 more charge, which is like 5 kill. Oh, you actually.
Goes for the thief.
Wow.
I think it makes sense. If Sneaky's saying the play is that good, don't allow it to play. It's a big sack,
also-
but you're preventing their golem, or like you're preventing like a lot of key units from doing their original job.
I mean,
Yeah, this is also
my
very funny because the golem has to run like to the far left of the map. As
Exactly, it's out of position if they do that, and then the knight itself is not going to kill it. So you're in this awkward position where that knight is hard to dislodge.
Yeah. I guess the other funny option is you trap it against your HQ.
Is Mastro dead here? I think
I
it's
don't-
safe. I think it's
I
safe.
think it's safe.
There's
There's
no heavy units.
Yeah, and if it is that bad, witch hex, right?
You know, I'm more worried about the surround than anything else. I'm thinking like you Tenri derp away the knight, put some kind of air unit below, but the flagstone is putting in work. That makes it a little harder.
I mean, Mastro also has 3 anti-air here, so balloon surround isn't like super scary here.
Yeah, but Tenri can like lift a unit is the scary part.
Yeah, there is 3 air, but I think it's still fine. At least
But yeah, I think you can punch through. He has so many knights and a dragon and a witch for breakpoints
Yeah.
that I don't think any surround is going to be true, even if it might be costly.
okay. I'm just checking something. So like, golem plus sword will kill a knight, right?
Yes.
That's still that you don't want your golem to go back. Like you're probably going to do it, but that's not a trade you want to be doing because
Yeah.
that golem has spent so long trying to get to a front line.
Yep.
And it's just marching farther away from a useful spot.
Yeah. Just March Center is not marching back towards base.
Exactly. So this might be a tempo play as well. Like even though
Yeah.
you're losing a little bit of value, you're preventing your opponent from doing a lot of stuff.
This
You're
is also
preventing a
like
later thief, etc.
These are two of the units that you want to have against Zawan Groove. They're being basically immobilized this turn.
Yeah.
This is such an awkward positioning for Mastro. I think they're trying to play a little faster, and they've been doing a good job of it. If you've noticed, the timer has been much more even this game, but so many things can be attacked this turn.
A little scary. Yeah.
I don't know how safely you can go into this, especially because Groove is after this.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Mastro will
There's
have
also-
tier 2 next turn.
Yep. There's options here for Koya to attack maybe, but I don't think anything like super strong.
Yeah, I just want to say I really like this positioning on the Witch for Mastro though, because Tenri just can't yoink it now.
You can still kill it, but you can't yoink it.
I assume
if you-
you're talking about moving a mage in the back line, but
Yeah.
it's probably not worth, because you
Yeah.
lose your mage for that.
Yeah.
And you paid for Groove. That's actually underpaying for your Groove to do that.
It's only worth it if the dragon would have gotten a free kill this turn, which double mage is saying no to that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, interestingly, he uses. Oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense because yeah, you don't want your golem to take free damage.
No, my golem doesn't hit the crit range. No, my 40% golem. The most important crit of the game.
This actually is less gold value, I think you lose, right? If you strike with sword first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
70 gold as opposed to.
Probably
Something
like
like
100,
200.
200. Yeah.
Actually, would it? Because like
Actually,
the
no, like,
knight would be
wait,
on
no,
like 12%
that goes
health.
like 10% HP or something, which is like 9 damage back.
Yeah, but don't you lose breakpoints? Your golem breakpoints are far more important than your sword, and a half-dead sword is arguably worth more than a fully alive sword.
Yeah.
Because it can force breakpoints, and you can heal it.
Yeah, and yeah, like it can suicide later on as well.
And that's
Ooh.
also like that's part of the reason I think there's a whole discussion like in the Discord about this, about value and up trading, and swords are probably one of the best units at up trading.
Yeah.
Secretly, because even if it's only 100, it does so much.
It's
It does a lot
an
for you.
incredibly effective meat shield.
Incredibly effective meat shield, can poke.
Yeah.
One of the best units for suicides.
Yep.
A can cap.
basically
Always can
does-
body
yeah.
block.
It does everything you need except be like a super heavy unit.
Yeah, it doesn't
Which-
kill very quickly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like its
which it
only thing.
protects you. Yeah. Okay, all that you need package for 100 gold.
Right.
But like, ooh, another golem.
The golem wars have
Half your gold
begun.
count.
Okay. Wonder when we're gonna get to late game. This mid game is, what's the econ at actually? It's either +1 for somebody or -1.
Saykoya
-1
for
for
200
Mastro.
gold.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he captured this village. I don't think so. I think he just walked back.
Poisonousville. But if you don't cap that, I mean, it's not that you should cap that Ville, but it's scary because like now Zawan, even though Mastro is down Villes, they definitely have at least another flipped Ville. So like this is only a temporary lead.
Yeah,
That's a tile.
you should be safe here. Yeah, there's only
Only one
Night Court
night
damage.
crit.
That's it.
What's interesting is that it's very out of the way of everything. It's not
Massive.
protecting the top.
Yeah,
It's not attacking anything.
I think it's conceding that Mastro actually has the initiative, because we were mentioning this earlier about how basically Zawan is just trying to muster forces to push back because of groove and unit count disparity. So I think we're finally seeing Saykoya pull back, saying we've done enough. There's not much else we can do, is what he's saying.
Yeah, and actually,
He's
these villages in the top right can't get touched for at least like another couple turns. So
yes, but Zawan gets the center and the other corner, hopefully, ideally.
Yep.
And if they can hold that, that is going to be damaging. Because Mastro can roll through the center if they don't respect it enough. And we're actually going to see a play for the top, probably stretching the units even thinner here.
I'm not sure if I like that. If Mastro had gone center, they could divide Saykoya's army, they could threaten Stronghold. They'd still be holding Saykoya off their own stronghold and any new villages. But if they go too far into the corner, it'll be fighting knights into pikes.
I think it's to pressure. I think it's fine for one turn since knights are really mobile and pikes really aren't, right? So
Yeah.
if the pikes want to get around, you gotta commit the pikes to the corner, and then the knights can just reroute. So I think it's just a pressuring play to force Saykoya to stretch a little further before he splits them up.
But looking at the other corner, Saykoya is poised to take more villages soon, and Mastro doesn't have as good an answer in that corner. It's really
Just
dangerous
Golem
to
walks.
Saykoya.
Golem possibly walks bottom left now, which is still not super good because Koya has his own Golem. But if he saw that's stunning a lot of units.
It's a little scary now for Mastro. Mastro might get out grinded here. The timer is probably going to get much closer to 30 minutes after this turn.
Yeah.
Alright,
So-
question for you. When do rifles start coming out, in your opinion?
Now,
Still not now, because you're still actively fighting for different corners and different fronts, and you're
Yeah.
still able to switch.
Rifle
no, I
can
would buy it
second-
this turn as Mastro, because you're facing down a sword pike wall, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
engaging with it.
Oh, he does have the money for it now, though. That's
Yeah,
pretty
you
appealing.
base skip for it.
It is starting to get to indirect territory, though. There is starting to be enough of a wall that indirect's going to be extremely valuable at some point. Especially with like Saykoya having a pike balloon, you already have half the infrastructure for it, right? You can do archer, mage, archer, spear with a balloon, and that could go really nicely.
Yeah, I mean, hell, you could even just start slow marching a trap forward. I know I'm the trap guy at this point, but like, there probably is a point, especially with Tenri, who can just like throw it forwards, and then it does what, like a 40 crit to a commander?
I mean, it is potential. It does have potential in Golem Wars. If it ever gets slow enough, we do see a lot of golems. So it's not. It's slow, which is probably my biggest counter argument. Is that it's still very slow to come out.
It's also very
too slow.
dependent on Tenri Groove.
Yeah, that's true. The real threat of Treb is that Tenri Groove can move it anywhere. So the second you use Tenri Groove, that Treb is going to be a lot less scary because you play around it and front switch, right?
Yeah, although as long as you're holding Tenri Groove, your opponent has to respect it.
Yeah, but that means you're a lot less likely to throw a good groove out. You have to get a really good concrete lead with it, which can be done. I'm not gonna say it's impossible. We might even see it here, but hard to do.
I don't think Treb is a bad move for Saykoya, but I think it's definitely a bad move for Mastro.
I would agree. I would
100%,
definitely agree
yeah.
here.
Yeah, like Treb is basically unplayable for Mastro at this point. It might actually not even get to the front before this match ends.
Mastro wants to be more aggressive, and it's easier to get value out of ranged if your opponent is coming into you. So, like even like Treb Ballista both can't move to attack, and Archer gets more out of standing still. So both sides, or both of your main indirects, want stuff coming at you to fight. Which is also like why we recommend having like a much larger army. Not only because you just lose a lot of value trying to push into stuff, but also indirects make trading more efficient for the defending side as long as the terrain is equal.
What's the economy at?
Ooh, yes. I think it's slightly Mastro favor. Oh no, much.
Oh,
I'm
no. Like,
Yeah,
it's been
like, it's
largely
okay.
Saykoya's for the whole game.
It's flipped. It flipped a little bit during the mid game where
Yeah.
Zawan was ahead for a while.
Only
but-
a very small amount, though.
Mid game it was pretty even. Koya has had like slight equal lead for most of the game though.
Yeah, but
Very slightly.
they've had less unit count a lot of the game.
Yeah, because they sacked
fact,
unit for it.
What's the unit count looking like?
46 Koya, 41 Mastro,
But that's three
Koya's at
of them.
bills.
Three vills are fake, and we have builds out, so it's about equal unit count now.
Yeah, although
Yep.
that thief dying actually really helps Saykoya on unit count because, Barracks buy for one hideout buy is actually really good.
Good trade, yeah.
I guess this is also explained by the fact that Koya also has one more area now. It's actually no, yeah, only one more area now.
Complicated game.
I'm actually curious where most of the extra units came from, because it did seem like Mastro was significantly ahead on that at one point.
I think a lot of the units are just the villages. Like Sequoia's been buying a lot of air. Sequoia bought balloon.
Only one air unit difference though.
Yeah.
So
We did
It's-
skip like
I actually just think it
sprint,
hasn't
like-
been as like obviously Saykoya lost some units, but I think Mastro has like lost a couple kills here and there.
I think that's fair because like so there's one air unit, right? And then there's +2 unit change for Sequoia because of the hideout play, right? That's -1 Rex from Mastro and +1 from Sequoia. So that actually equals out if they're 3 vills ahead. So I think Mastro just lost a unit or 2 extra in an engagement. I think that's simply what happened. Crazy. I know.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, I still think it's a very close game, but
Yeah,
I think it's entirely playable for both sides right now. I don't think there's a concise, decisive winner. And just as I suspected, you can see the pikes at the top right being committed to the top right, which can actually give those knights an opening elsewhere. Because those pikes are going to be really slow to move anywhere else.
They're gonna take the top right though. They have to.
That's true. That's true. They have to, but that means those knights can reroute, and those are
No, I
going to be
meant the
city
knights
ducks.
have to.
Oh, the knights have to.
Unless Mastro's going for an all-in right now, the knights kind of need to flip those villages because Mastro's a little bit far on economy.
True. Villages do need to be flipped. I agree with this assessment. Can you? I don't think Dragon kills a full HP village, right? Not unless it's
No.
like on road or something.
No.
it has to be on
It's
road.
70 base.
Yep, Mastro's going for it.
I'm going for at least the one free one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can take the other one unless you use like 2 swords to do it.
But that's a lot of committing you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
And
worth it.
both the swords die.
I think the other knight actually just reroutes, and then you run the other the knight that decapped away.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, although it could get traps.
Actually, yeah, I could get trapped hilariously.
You
one
can
unit or
always
something.
keep a. You can
keep, like, You can keep like the 2 swords around, and I think that keeps it safe.
It's dirty. I don't know. I don't know the best way to go around this.
I feel like 2 swords is probably good here because it also means like you have capping units in case Koya decides to back off for some reason, especially because they're both
Yes.
coming.
Mastro's struggling on their objective, I think. They're trying to push forward, which is good. They're trying to take villages, which is good.
Army's really
But their
thin.
army is all over the place.
Yeah. I think Zawan comes in, and then we'll see a big groove and probably a lot of good value trading for Mastro.
Probably gonna
But
go
for the meantime, I think it's going to be really hard for them to make up the deficit for now.
Yeah.
They're going to have to work double time for it, compared to Sequoia, who can just kind of sit back and relax for a good portion until Mastro makes a move. And in fact, I think so the time lead has actually gotten kind of significant, like a 5-minute lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta look at it again. This coming turn.
Which I fear Mastro is going to lose on the timer before they actually lose on the board.
I'm actually curious how they end up on this map.
I think it's a Mastro pick.
Mastro chose position first,
Okay.
so that means Mastro's player B, so Koya got to select map last, right?
Okay. Oh yeah, because yes. There's a discussion that happened after last turn about the draft.
Yeah.
Mastro does not want to use Groove, but they might have put themselves in a situation where they dunk a knight if they don't.
You can wait 1 turn, I think.
It could be interesting, although I wouldn't. I think Zawan's too far to get a really good groove on the top, and it's not super value.
Oh, he's not gonna go
So-
for it.
Okay,
That's
think
the tile.
That is a tile.
Hilariously, there's
that's
no
not-
knights in range of Tenri, so he's not dead here.
Are you sure?
There's only a dragon in range in which.
Yeah,
Tenri
He's
can
dead.
groove.
I think he's dead. Wait,
No,
hold on.
That's 95.
Okay, yeah,
It's
95,
85
95.
plus 10, yeah. Because there's no
Oh.
knights in range, you're alive.
That was scary.
Maybe there's
Specifically
still
Night Kill,
potential. I mean, I'm sure there's some shenanigans afoot. Maybe the army is just a little too passive, but
He's being so careful with this witch, by the way. Just like making sure it's never
doesn't want him
close.
to get grabbed.
Yeah, like tier 2, I think Tenri could yoink it fairly safely, but
Yeah, at that point it's just like,
well, yeah, you gotta give up a unit. But
yeah.
I do like
Well-
this push in the bottom left, by the way. Like it's
This is gonna pull the golem away.
Yeah,
Either the bottom left or from the middle, which is nice.
Concern is that Mastro's middle, I don't know what to call it, a contingent of Knight, Sword, Mage is a
gonna
little
get
off.
decimated. Yeah.
And if that falls, then Mastro's bottom push is sort of surrounded.
Yes. I don't know. It's really awkward. Mastro has like one too many units up by Zawan. They need like the knight to be a little more forwards here.
It also looks like Koi is up like 5 minutes at the start of their turn.
yeah.
Yes.
So it's not like super big time deficit yet.
I mean,
Well, that is
more it's
decent
6 or
big,
7 actually, but yeah, that's
I mean,
gonna
Sequoia's
start
gonna take
becoming
it.
impactful.
Yeah. Like even a few seconds extra on every Mastro turn does add up here.
Agreed.
Actually, something
think
I'm
Saykoya has
noticing. Oh, sorry.
I think Saykoya just has an easier position to play here too. Saykoya tends to get themselves in these situations where they might not necessarily be straight up winning, but they don't have a hard game to play. Their game plans are very solid and relatively simple. Whereas Mastro has to attack, push, and like make an advantage in order to justify their play, which is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right, something.
You also have to remember that Greenfinger is burning right now. Like, you have a timing as Greenfinger versus Tenri, and that timing is tier 1 groove and tier 2 groove. You want to try to take advantages while you have tier 1, they don't have tier 1. Mastro kind of at best evened out the economy when that happened. Then when you get tier 2, you want to immediately fight. Mastro's not in a position to do that. The longer this game goes on, the more Tenri T2 could actually be useful in Golem Wars, and Greenfinger falls off. The whole advantage you have against Tenri is you dump your T2, take an advantage, force a bad T1, and then Tenri doesn't get T2. And if Tenri does save for T2, it's useless because you dump another groove before they get it. But if you just let Tenri passive farm to T2, you're in trouble.
And
I argue that if you're popping T2 and Tenri doesn't pop T1 in the upcoming fight, that should be really good for you. And if it wasn't a good groove.
Mm-hmm.
I do just
So I
want to
think
note as well, like while you're talking about positioning, all of Mastro's heavy units are very far away from Tenri.
Yeah.
And they have been for quite some time. Like he cannot put anything of value near her. And I think that's like creating this kind of big zone of like he would like to go in and have like his units be ready to like punch through with a Zawan tier 2 groove, but
Henry's pressure is just too scary. You have to overload it. You have to have all of your heavy units come in at once, which can be clunky when they're this far.
yeah, like you can just see this zone around Tenri like throughout the map where just like nothing of value can go close.
And it's like the opposite, right? Tenri can't groove right now. That's the funny thing. If Tenri derps your dragon, that's bad for Saykoya. Because you can now push with all your golems and T2 Greenfinger groove.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it wouldn't even be a terrible idea to try and get rid of a golem with your dragon and sacrifice the dragon via like a Tenri groove if you could ever get into that situation. Because your dragon got value and it stuffed out a Sequoia's groove. However, with this much anti-air, that's going to be a big, tall ask.
Actually, the other thing as well, like the ideal time to do that is when Tenri's at like 160, 170%, because then she's burnt all of that extra groove that she would love to have used on a tier 2.
I guess hilariously here you could actually like groove the dragon down bottom left into this golem. It's not. I don't think it's worth it, but it would be kind of funny.
I'd caution trying to do that too late, because you could create a situation where Tenri could get T2 on that turn.
Yeah, you really only have this turn or next turn to really stop Tier
Yeah.
2.
I mean, you would have to.
wager.
It would have to be very like precisely done. I mean, this is probably the more ideal time, right? Because like, Tenri's then just burnt a bunch of extra groove, which could be saved towards a tier 2. And I know tier 2 like is like not super amazing compared to tier 1, just because like the value of tier 1 is just yoinking something, but the knockback is actually really dangerous, especially when
Knockback
you
and also 50% damage shockwave.
yeah, like you could do something like you could knock the dragon out of position, away from like the witch, for example, and then your own witch just one shots the dragon. And like you could do that with anything, right? Like a golem could go and like you yeet a golem forward, and then the golem does some follow up to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little scared of Saykoya's blob. Although, this does mean it's a good turn to attack into it for Mastro if they can find some way to get a good groove out. So I wonder what we'll see. And it looks like Mastro is actually taking back the initiative on the stronghold and the villas around it. So we might actually see Saykoya have to pull back some of those units. So I wonder how this will play out. Yeah, 2 village flips. Is this even econ now?
I think Mastro's
Oh,
up. Yeah,
Mastro's
Mastro's
way up now.
Yeah, that was
14 to
huge.
11.
That was actually a pretty big concession from Saykoya. Again, I think having to play a little more passive here to respect Zawan's groove is actually doing some work here.
But it's fine as long as Saykoya doesn't go down in the next 2 turns. If Saykoya
This is
survives the
true.
next 2 turns without a big econ deficit, Saykoya's up on timer, Saykoya has a better pressure position, and Mastro has to be stupidly careful about lethals while trying to push into the enemy HQ.
I just wonder, when is the correct timing for Zawan groove? That's like the one thing we don't have the answer to here, and it's the key to Mastro winning.
I think
So-
we
I think Mastro
do.
needs
The
to
problem
unite
is
bottom army.
Well, on the board state, though. I mean, not in general. Like, where does Mastro do their play? It doesn't seem like there's a clear answer for it. It seems like Saykoya is just boxing up, waiting for their groove timing to come online, and it's a little bit dicey for Mastro. Mastro has to claim all these villas really quickly, and I don't. What do they do here other than, I guess, this village harassing?
And ultimately, it's a big game tactical decision, right? Like, Mastro has decided, I'm not going to play Greenfinger correctly. I am going to get economy and try to wipe Saykoya off the map, and I'm sure I can do that without running out of time.
I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That eco difference right now.
It's scary, but I mean, the eco doesn't matter that much right now. Saykoya has a large army, so it's not like you're hemorrhoiding or hemorrhaging their units. But yeah,
And Saykoya just walks down and wins. Right?
maybe it's hard to tell. But I think if you walk down with Saykoya, Mastro goes up, and I don't know. You don't want to be fighting that. Mastro, I mean, it's not like you're attacking HQ, so...
Saykoya's immediately pulling back that army up the top. Just like,
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't want to deal with this golem. Thank you very much.
he's gonna catch something, unfortunately, just because of that mountain.
Yeah.
That sword is gonna go down for sure.
Is it going to catch something, or is it going to get baited away from the fight?
True, actually.
Well, it's getting closer to the
Thief
center
again.
regardless, so I actually think it's fine for
Oh,
those.
Thief round 2. Let's see if this one is better than the first Thief.
I mean, the first thief took out a knight. That's
That's
a pretty
true.
powerful thief.
It was a plus. It was +2 unit count for Saykoya and minus a knight. So it's actually, you lost tempo on one of your golems, but you gained value for it.
Yeah, I think it was +1 unit count because the thief died.
Yeah.
Well, no, the thief is a free production, right? It doesn't
Right.
count as a Rex.
So free production died. Saykoya lost and gained nothing. Mastro lost
Yeah.
a knight, but didn't miss builds, so +1
Yeah.
for Saykoya.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Ooh, that Hex, he's gonna do nothing with like builds this turn.
I wonder if this hex was used for breakpoints because anything that makes the golem lower is like pretty efficient. Makes it much easier to fight into, especially in golem v golem fights.
Yeah, in golem v golem fights, 2 golems need at least some form of extra damage to get the kill. With like a sword suicide or something like that, so getting the hex in early is nice.
But it also means Mastro can heal still. So
yeah,
he has like mages in the background still.
Yep.
Oh no. I just thought of a very silly idea. I wonder if Mastro uses tier 2 groove to kill all the stuff on the top of the map.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I've been looking with my eyes.
Yeah. I was originally thinking why he isn't pulling Zawan down to fight with his army with T2, but this is better because you want Groove to be in a place that's more simplified, less units.
I also think that like if Mastro can wipe out the top without having to worry about Saykoya's counter groove, it's actually pretty valuable since you get a lot of vills. And
you get to
it's
keep,
not
like...
it's not really simple to get the vills back.
Oh, actually, if he traps those units and just murders them, like he builds a ton of groove off of that as well.
Yeah.
The catch is, though, Tenri does not need to use groove for the counterattack, and this is what I meant by Saykoya just walks down and wins. The golem is trapped. It's got to sack itself for something. Saykoya
golem can get out here.
How's it get out?
Well,
Where's
it can get
go?
grabbed, but it can only get hit. It can get hit by Dragon Knight, but you can cover for that. You can put it in a spot where it doesn't get hit by the opponent's golem.
Yeah, but if you cover for that, and Saykoya continues to engage, are you going to win?
No, you're losing this front, but you're not like losing. I think you can pull enough stuff out of here alive that this is still fine. You're losing some stuff on the retreat, but I don't think it's enough that does straight up lose it.
So I wanna. My noob is showing how many tiles can Zawan cast, and it's like 5 vines, right? 8 plus how many vines?
5.
It's 5.
5. It is 5. Okay. So like effectively 12 range, right? I'm wondering if there's some backline tree. Okay, I think we expected this.
Yep. Tons of damage that's gonna allow that knight to eat a pike crit. Oh no, actually no, the swords are covering.
No,
it.
it can't. Yeah,
You can't clear bottom sword.
Oh no! Now they get to attack Mastro's swords!
That's...
And the mage, why?
Okay.
You have to cover it. Can you cover it? Can the knight? No, the knight can't cover it. Oh no.
I don't think anything dies. No, so like...
Why? I guess my question is, shouldn't the one of the vines cover the top part of the village if you're gonna do this? So instead of it covering the 8 spear, it goes over to the Vil, and then you don't even have to cover as much.
Yeah, this was not correctly executed.
I mean, I feel like it's still pretty good though.
Yeah. It's just not as efficient as you want, and I think in this position, efficiency matters a lot. You want to be pushing your edge that you have while you have the advantage, because it's much easier to get a lot from it.
Spicy take. I think Mastro just lost the game. Not just because of the misplaced vine, but by dumping tier 2 when Tenri does not have to dump tier 1. If Mastro loses too many dudes in the bottom, even if Mastro doesn't lose too many dudes in the bottom, Tenri's going to have tier 2 Tenri Groove in Golem Wars against Grooveless Greenfinger. I don't see how Mastro wins that.
Also, this is like a wide open center. I mean, the golems are going down as well.
Yeah, I think you need 1 golem to go up.
You just walk across the map and kill Stronghold.
Yeah.
Like, you just
it's
yeet a golem straight forwards. Or
We're
a
gonna see
knight.
the funny interaction of Tenri T2 with a golem.
And you have balloon. Balloon can really quickly transport something like the swords, but like more importantly, you can get a pike close, and the pike is gonna stop a lot of what's gonna be defending the stronghold, which is mostly knights and
Everything in the south just retreated.
Yeah, this is a very funny, like, stunned position.
There's no Zawan groove. Just walk it
Yeah.
across the map and kill strongholds.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a night buy and probably an air buy from Mastro here, because I think you need to defend the top.
No,
Oh,
more
another
golem.
golem.
Go
Okay.
over.
Mastro.
Golem is a buy. I guess they can pull units back if they decide to do that, but I'm tenuous. It's tenuous.
Saykoya's not gonna groove this turn. There's too much to lose by
Oh
it.
yeah, maybe probably
I
not
think
this
you
turn, but
push
like
for you wait for a stronghold attack for it, right?
You wait for a winning fight, lethal, or stronghold. Yes, one of those three.
okay, but Saykoya gonna go for something like that. That's also another important question. All right, we're gonna see more just engagement down here.
Yeah, picking off units is part of the course here, I would say.
Thief gets the
Thief
steal.
Steal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you wanted to buy Golem because the Thief Steal was coming in regardless, right? So it makes sense. Even if you're in the negative right now, you got the Golem out with the money you needed. Right?
Yeah.
So that checks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Minus 300 gold. Oh. And it kind of makes up for Saykoya being out of it so long, too.
Ooh,
Yeah,
spicy
that's safe.
position, but it's safe. Yeah.
Free
Do
dude.
you sack one unit for another unit here?
Actually, that sword didn't need to actually hit anything, because that sword immediately just got eaten by the dragon. I guess technically it gives more groove charge because of this Capville instead.
Actually, yeah. Actually, groove charge is really important there because I think we're coming to the point where tier 2 Tenri is going to be a big difference.
The cap would have given more than hit at that point, is the thing.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
And I
then.
think, yeah. And there's a chance that Mastro wants to back off, so you'd rather have the 100 gold as well. Because it's 3 for hit, 4 for capture. From a normal unit. Yeah, Mastro still has a really good eco lead right now. We'll see how long that lasts, though.
Not much longer, unfortunately, but they will be up for unit count. Yeah.
Yep.
I guess. I mean, you didn't have to take any damage, is the thing, right?
Yep.
That's the issue with this play, is that there is no need to do this.
I'm actually a little
Mastro's
surprised
playing faster.
Saykoya didn't just grab the village for extra groove, but
Well, it would have
Yeah.
given Mastro more.
Yeah, because Mastro would have bopped the Vil again, right?
yeah, but
Because
like,
it's not a full
is Zawan
HP.
gonna get tier 1 anytime soon?
Which I have the
Uh,
bottom left for not
you can.
hitting the room.
You might have to sack a lot next turn, regardless, because of how the bottom is going, right? So you might be able to farm Groove here. It might be more important to farm Groove at the bottom than it is to actually save your units, which is quite funny. But it looks like if Saykoya successfully does this, Saykoya got more out of trading here, and they didn't have to use Groove. So strategically, it looks like Saykoya is up.
Yeah.
I wish we had the charts from Wargroove 1. That'd be really interesting to look at, like, this game with. See how the army value had panned out for most of the game.
Yeah, it would be nice to. Maybe one day we'll get them again. I'm not sure what the status is on. I know the person who worked on it for Wargroove 1. Ooh, banking for this turn. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have much money. They're still down on eco, I think, or
Yeah, still
close
down
to
4.
evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13 to 9.
So they're bleeding a lot of money, but they're getting a lot in return here. Okay, I think we're gonna see a lot of like sacrifices of your cheap units here.
Yeah.
to slow down the advance and to get your more expensive stuff out. I wonder if
I
we
think-
sacrifice. I wonder if this golem gets sacrificed here.
This is
Because
just a
what's his attack?
guess, but I think Saykoya just did something very clever based on Mastro's timing. Saykoya moved the sword to the left of the golem at the last minute, so that I didn't even see it happen on Saykoya's turn. I was thinking originally sword, kills sword, then maybe dragon, golem on golem, maybe dragon hits golem. Now that's impossible.
There was
The
Flagstone
Mastro-
anyways.
But maybe that was a trick to try to get Mastro to go sword,
look at
kill
it.
sword.
Yeah.
But you can't hit
Look
the
at it
golem.
twice time.
Yeah.
Mastro cleaning up top.
Mastro could potentially camp production though.
Yeah, this is very funny. If that actually
This
happened.
is a weird game.
Hilariously, not the first time I've seen Zawan get up into the face of the opponent's production.
Yeah, that's. I used to say that's a pretty common tactic, but it's a slow tactic, right?
Look at the sword.
Just getting bullied by this forest of vines.
Okay, my question is, do you want to bring the vines down, or do you actually stop production? I think it's probably more valuable to bring it closer to production.
Yes,
right?
he has to hit this sword with this 8 vine. Yeah, from the left, because like nothing else could kill it otherwise.
Master needs to stop thinking about perfect vine placement and take their turn.
Wow, callouts. You're speeding up. You summon Fastro.
Ooh, so let's see.
The
7.
unit count. It's crazy because Saykoya still looks very dominating, but like material wise, it just looks like Master's been up. So
It is funny
That's-
though, like if you think about villages and these vines, Mastro is actually not ahead. Like, you
really,
take
oh
those
yeah,
out-
that's 5.
Yeah,
That's 5,
it's
and yeah,
13 fake units.
and then a lot of his units are dying, so he needs to be pumping out tech units now, or not even tech. He just needs to be pumping out as much as possible.
He is going to
Which
get
I
another
guess
set
was-
of vines fairly soon. He's on 65, but
5 more kills and then gets vines.
this stuff, so
Mastro
much stuff
needs
down
to
here is
play-
going to die.
Yeah, I'm wondering if what you kill here with your golem, because I think you have to kill with your golem, otherwise your golem's just not doing anything. But is it worth killing the dog, or do you just go for the sword?
Oh,
I
he
think
can't,
Red kill here.
he can't even like retreat properly because there's just 2 road tiles there.
Yeah, it's funny. Those like 2 rolls
So I
actually
think you
matter.
actually just completely sack the golem here. But again, for what?
Uh,
Ideally, you're right. You hit the golem with the golem, but is that even possible?
It's interesting.
Oh no, that was a mistake. You should stand on the road. Standing on the road is correct because the mage covers.
oh yeah, you're right. Actually, that would have been a nice character.
Yeah, only Witch covers this, and that's not enough.
Oh god.
Maybe you have to bring the sword down. Oh no.
I don't think
Oh.
there
Can
was a way.
balloon intercept there? Can balloon body block the mage?
I really don't like hitting that either because now the mage can kill that sword. He's so close to tier 2 that he could do some shenanigans. Like you just yeet a mage into the center of this blob, do all
And
the
then kill
damage,
the yeah.
and then kill dragon.
That's scary.
Funny part is, I'm not even sure that would be good. I mean, it would be
the other-
devastating, but now
Other funny
Saykoya has to
option.
make a Eco without groove. That's awkward.
The other funny option: throw the dragon into center, and then start rushing stronghold because there's no mages there.
Oh wow, yeah.
And Far doesn't go for it. Actually, maybe it might not have been enough range because Tenri T2 is only 8, so that'd be 16 each way. Actually, no, that is enough to look at it all, I think.
That is a play though. That's a funny play to think about.
T2's online.
Oh,
I guess you
okay.
wait on it this turn.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
you just sweep shop here. I think it's more prudent to play your strategic plan than it is to go for a tactical win here.
I guess I'm thinking about saving because you already used a bunch of your big units. I don't think there's enough follow up this turn. Yeah.
Alright, just sees a sword, just like I'm gonna kill the 3 dudes.
You can just pop it next turn and start murdering things.
This is
Yeah.
not a game state that's good for Mastro. This is Saykoya's game state.
Yes.
There's no clear winner. No one's gonna end the game anytime soon. You need to play fast, make simple, smart, easy decisions.
Also, your opponent is winning and has tier 2, and you have spent your tier 2. Like, Saykoya almost evened up economy, and almost evened up. I mean, there's going to be buys at the end of this turn as well, and a lot of this army is just vines. A golem just went down. Tenri is on top of like a lot of power units, so
I'm surprised no Harpy bot at all from Mastro's side. Harpy would be really nice to get up to the top, and even though there's a lot of anti-air, it would stuff out knights just approaching.
I guess the problem is like there's only one knight. There's only 2 knights from Koya. It's mostly been golems.
Yeah, but that top, like, it's so juicy to force more mage buys from Saykoya, because like you don't want to overinvest in that, but like getting the mages out of position could open a lot out. But maybe it's just not efficient enough right now.
The thing of it is, Mastro has been playing faster, but as a result, we're seeing 70% Mastro and only 90% Saykoya.
Only 90%.
I mean, like, Saykoya doesn't have to sack as much to play a little more quickly. Saykoya can speed up without giving up much value. Meanwhile, Mastro has given up a lot of tactics by playing this quickly. Saykoya is just a lot better at making these very quick, very simple state decisions, and I think Saykoya had a better board state for their commander, early initiative, and whatever it cost them to get that early initiative, they made it worth it.
we're all kind of on the edge of our seats here. That's just like, what can Mastro do to come back into this game?
I realize this is a nice long game.
Yeah, 20 turns almost.
And this is what Saykoya wanted in game 1 as well.
Yeah.
Saykoya knows their big picture tactics. All game, they're like, could I go for the stronghold? Yes, but I won't. Could I go for a big fight? Yes, but I won't. They've been keeping to avoiding big decisive moments so that Mastro could not ever get the chance to come out ahead in a big way. And it meant that Saykoya could always just keep stalling, keep time pressuring, and eventually Mastro will make more mistakes than Saykoya as we get to clock.
Yeah, and the stalwartness of Saykoya. Yeah.
I don't know if 20 minutes is enough to finish this game from this point. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. You'd have to... Well, you could bulldoze. If you get a big enough lead, you can bulldoze, but the issue is the game is even, right?
Yeah. Like,
so...
Well, we need to royally mess up a fight for Mash to be able to bulldoze at this point.
Yes. So I think Saykoya actually does just need to play fast and pray for a miracle.
What are you, Mastro, sorry?
They need to pull back and pray for a miracle in terms of the army fight.
I think now you need to unite your armies in center and like.
Yes. You have to brawl here and find a tactic. There is a yoink.
Yeah,
but
I feel like he would have yoinked before you did captures. I mean, obviously a thing here is return with the thief.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold.
Wait, can you kill here?
Who?
Because I'm trying to think, because like Golem solo stronghold by itself in 2 turns with Tenri T2. Mage is the only thing that reaches Golem. Can you get a mage heal safely in range of it? If so, stronghold's dead.
Oh, you just like throw it behind?
Yes.
Maybe actually.
Aren't there too many golems to
None of them reach the backside.
Yeah, but the problem is, does Tenri die walking forward to do that?
No,
the mage can hit the backside.
Well,
right?
the golem gets to walk the full distance as well.
Mage can hit backside, so you need to get a mage heal in range safely, which I don't think can happen.
You also have Witch X.
Do you?
Yes, you have Witch X from the bottom, right? Did I miscount?
We're talking about like hitting from the top or right of Stronghold.
It looks like it's a little
I'm
too
just
far. It looks like the wage, the witch
Tenri
is a
tier
little
2
too
has a
far.
lot of range. And like,
It's 8
Oh, actually,
range,
you
right?
don't.
and the
You don't
golem
actually
gets to
reach
walk
hit with the
5 on top of
shockwave.
that. Yeah.
Never mind, you don't hit with the shockwave.
Oh, you
It's
don't
one
hit
tile
with the
short.
shockwave? Oh, okay.
You need to hit with the shockwave to get the 2-turn.
Oh, but you could throw it in front of the stronghold, right?
No, it's one short tile short of hitting the front of Stronghold.
Oh, okay.
Because it's only 8 tiles.
And it's a really good idea.
then-
Like, that is
Yeah.
like,
That is something that Koya keeps preaching to me when he plays Tenri against me.
Oh, secrets revealed.
I mean, we're seeing a lot of stuff shuffle forwards as well, so I wonder if like Saykoya's getting ready to do that.
Yeah, it looks like Saykoya. What do you do with Mastro's army here? I think Saykoya does have just enough to eke out a push if they wanted to, and they don't have to push here. I think what they're gonna do is just sit on their economy and time Mastro out.
Yeah,
They
Yeah,
like-
Mastro needs to stop playing the village game and go center and push.
Well, you
Like,
need
it-
at least a turn to set this up. That's the issue. You can't push this turn.
You got to
Yeah.
do something because it's getting mathematically impossible. At minimum, you can move a unit in 2 seconds, and that was in Wargroove 1. I've noticed there's a little bit of lag in Wargroove 2.
They
So let's say
they
2 seconds a unit.
deliberately added, I think it's like a minimum of like 2 seconds go by on a turn. I don't know about like the movement lag or whatever, but there is also like every turn has like a minimum of like 2 seconds as well.
It looks like Mastro's trying to play a lot faster.
So just in the time it would take someone to play a perfectly fast turn, what is 3 seconds times the number of units?
Quite a lot at this point actually, especially vines have a very slow animation. You
Mhm.
probably just forget about those vines at this point.
Yeah.
And they're not doing anything at this point.
So Master has what, 20, 30 active units? We're talking a minute a turn minimum.
More like 30 units. Yeah, 30 noteworthy units.
Okay, so a minute and a half a turn, 2 minutes if you're moving all the vines. And if you want to make any strategic plays, another minute at least. Now we're talking 3 minutes a turn. How many more turns does Mastro have? 5. Mastro has to win the game in 5 turns.
That or just concede to a holding position for a while. Just buy and then hold. Say you can't penetrate this position yet. Which honestly they could do to weasel out a little more time.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you can't win. Like, Saykoya could do that because Saykoya's up on time, but Mastro can't do that. Mastro's down on time.
That's true. But if you don't have enough to push through, I think to stabilize the game you can do that. But
Wait,
think-
what was Tenri's range? 8 again on tier 2, right?
8 tiles, yeah.
The mage doesn't cover anymore. Nothing does. Unless this dragon
Uh-oh.
goes back. You just
I'm done.
you just yeet the golem into the front of the stronghold and then wrap around behind. And
Yep,
just put
yeah.
the rest of your army around Tenri.
We'll rip that game. As long
No,
as
Saykoya
Tenri
won't do
doesn't
it.
die.
Saykoya won't do it. In order to do it, you need to calc it. In order to calc it, you need to take time. Saykoya is
No,
not going to spend time.
this is not
Well,
a calc. This is
this is not a
something
calc. but
Koya
Yeah,
knows by heart.
this is it's like a pike crit, right? You don't have to calc a pike crit.
That's not what the calc is. The calc is to make sure you don't lose your commander.
I guess
Okay,
that's fair, but you have a balloon.
As long as nothing reaches Tenri's backside, she's safe.
You have balloon and dragon and witch.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
long
but
as nothing
where are you
reaches Tenri's
standing to do
backside.
this? You're
Forest.
standing on the road tile under that sword?
No.
You stand in the forest. Forest is only open on 2 sides if you put a balloon behind her.
Like I was thinking as well, I actually, now that you guys have talked about this, I do think it's a play you go for.
Oh, actually, wait, no, that doesn't block because Witch does not cover for crits.
It's not that simple. You have to think about it.
I think thinking about it is fine here. Saykoya is up enough time to
Yeah.
if they can guarantee a win here, you should do it. And you have a simple enough position to where you just hold. So I think it's worth going for if they can find it.
I don't think it's worth going for. I think Saykoya might go for it just because it's fun and they want style points. But
I
I'm
mean,
not
game on the
convinced
spot
it's
is
the
pretty
right
good.
move.
I mean, it is time.
Well, I guess Saykoya's calcing it.
Yeah. Oh, Matrix.
There are enough mages to cover air blockers, so...
I'm wondering what the best way to do it is, though. Like,
I mean, alternatively, you just murder the stuff in the south.
yes.
Oh, actually, this mage in the south dies tonight. Because you
Yeah.
just kill sword and then knight goes in and kills the mage.
Unfortunately, the mage that's like right in front of the stronghold reaches like behind Tenri, so he still can't air block.
You just kind of surround yourself with golems. I mean, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever kills the golems isn't killing you, and their most powerful units are spent. So stand on the forest, execute the attack. One of your golems is used in the attack.
The
Use
other
the other
golem sits
golem
on
to cover a
top.
side. Is there a night crit on that forest?
There is night crits.
And there's witch, dragon. It's not easy. Are there are 2 night crits on the
Yes,
forest?
there's 2 night crits.
It's not easy.
Oh, this knight dies, though.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, that's
super easy to kill that. Like, you just clear this sword, golem hits the knight, sword above it kills it. Or actually, you just
And it
hex and then
doesn't kill-
golem
yeah,
kills.
yeah.
I mean, also the thing is, night crit does not matter any more than golem hit in this situation. It's can you open backside of Tenri and she dies. Like the night crits, it is 10% more without terrain, but I don't think that matters in the equation because you're just hitting her with 3 golems and she dies. Or similar strength.
Do you have 3 golems killing forest? I'm actually not sure.
With
You have
Hex it
witch
does.
hex, though,
With Hex.
don't you?
There is a witch
Yeah, with
hex.
Hex, definitely.
With Hex, it should. And actually, let me.
But you're not
check
going to get
that.
3 sides. You're going to get 2 sides.
You need 2 sides, and there's a good chance one of your golems is going to be weaker because of the hex, depending on
Yeah.
which sides are opened or not.
You would mage heal it, though. You can't clear all the
I guess
mages.
it's fair. Yeah, that's true. Mage heals. You have so many mage heals.
The question is there a 2-side lethal on Tenri?
I don't think so. Because I don't
You don't have
think.
indirects.
Well, you have 1 suicide with sword. That's it. Actually, 1 suicide with dog. Wait, no. None of the
that
dogs
won't,
reach.
that wouldn't reach. No.
The dogs don't reach the bridge or the road, in which case they don't suicide.
Oh, if you hex the
That's-
south group, that's actually really bad because you open up a dog suicide.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think he's calcing it, though. I mean, you either do that or you just kill the army in the south, right? Like, you can just go in here and do lots of damage.
Yeah. Also, so 3 golems by themselves do not kill on forest. I'm talking without hex.
I've never seen Saykoya do this before. They have a clean, easy way to win, and they're going for the stylish hypercalc victory.
No, I think I think they have enough time to spare, and they play faster than Mastro, so they have their timer. They're paying attention to it. I'm sure they're safe. I think the bigger issue is Mastro's gonna have a fast next turn because they have had time to think about their plans.
There's no way Mastro was winning the game in 5 turns.
I
Saykoya
mean, that's
could've
true.
stood there and won. But this will be really cool if it works. Like, this is
Yeah,
a
I
more
mean-
hype way to do it.
Yeah.
You gotta wonder about the thought process right now. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, I thought this would be easy. I'm realizing this is a little harder. Do I want to just win this game? I already have 1 championship under my belt, but I don't want to lose. This would be
Come
so
on,
cool, and I'm pretty sure I could make it work.
Koya wants to get the second victory so he can make a 2-stage emote.
Yeah, I think they want it to be convincing. It'll deal
Yeah, like-
it'll deal 2d4 psych damage to Mastro. So
Like, all you have to do is make sure Golem survives on backside, and that's it. The problem is making sure you can block for that, which I don't know if you actually can. I mean, there is probably a way, but it's probably complicated.
Dragon can. Actually, that's really awkward. He's really thinking about it though. I mean, this is a lethal at this point, right? Yeah, this is. Oh, dragon goes up.
In range of mage, so is this walling for?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, something else is gonna go in front here.
Saykoya's dropped down to 13 minutes. They're actually below Mastro on time. This has to work.
I think that's why they counted. Sneaky. ...
Is it? Was this a bait by Master as well? Like, surely you would spot.
No. No, Mastro has no idea.
I think
I'm sure. No, I'm sure Mastro knows now. I'm sure Mastro has thought
Mastro
about
knows
it.
now, but not the last turn. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they were playing
Oh,
too
that
fast.
spot.
Oh. Oh, that's actually really smart.
Oh, actually, yeah,
Extra-
because
yeah.
yeah, bottom side is completely unbreakable.
Yep.
Oh, that's such a dead stronghold.
Yep. The sneaky strat. Oh yeah,
So
Tenri being
all-
good.
Actually, yeah, you can't be hit from the bottom.
Well, there are 2 suicides now, though.
you need to be able to block 2 sides.
Oh,
of
I'm
that,
scared of
and
the vines also come into play now.
And Tenri's on road instead of forest.
No, she's
I
only
I
on
don't
a-
know
she's
if
on
this
bridge.
is better.
But yeah.
Effectively, yeah, because there's no dragon
There's
in
no
range,
dragon,
so it's
actually.
effectively the same. As long as you can cover, yeah, you're safe. Golem cannot die on the top.
Oh, I can't.
You're safe.
Definitely not now.
Yep. So you live. Koya wins.
It's
Though I'm
not
assuming-
over until it's over. Let's
Yeah,
give
I'm
Mastro the
assuming
chance to
Master's gonna
countercount.
spend like all his time trying to figure out how to kill Tenri here.
I mean, fair. What
I
else
mean, that's
can
what
you do?
yeah. You have
I mean,
to.
you physically only have that's your
You
only
have to
option.
break through. So we'll see what they can pull.
I love how we're all calculating the forest, and then Saykoya just does something completely different.
I led you astray.
Can Witch hex this?
Yes, I believe so. Yep, it's in range. It's exactly
Yeah,
in
it
range for
just
Tenri.
catches Tenri, but.
But not
What-
the golem.
You only really have like 2 golem hits.
Yeah, I'm gonna check something. Mage is. Where's drink 85? Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
it doesn't
isn't
kill.
gonna change that. Yeah, you would need a second witch. Okay, well, I mean, we're gonna be sitting here for the next 5 to 10 minutes, so
How's your day going?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty good. This is a really interesting game too.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
fun. Also,
A
Tenri
lot of
gets
back and
oh,
forth, I
oh, yeah.
think.
Oh wait, do you see what Koya built in the top left?
Yes, the
Ballista.
bullet.
Let's go.
The
You know,
flat.
if Master had a ballista, that dragon would be dead. That's all I'm saying.
I guess there's like there's a second option to not killing Tenri. It's to get enough charge for T2 and hit the golem. Problem is you still lose after that.
It's not possible. You can't.
Yeah.
Can you? What's
Golem
Green
just-
Finger
Golem
at?
just kills the stronghold, right?
One time. I mean, if you tap it twice with vines, it does not kill this turn, I believe.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, is that
Yeah.
possible? What's the charge on Green Finger?
You need 129 charge, which is roughly like 10 kills if you're hitting everything twice.
Oh, actually, it was really smart to just retreat on the south as well, because this can't go
No
through
groove
there.
grinding. Yeah.
Yeah, and like nothing in the bottom actually hits stuff. So yeah, like yeah.
Might be
should've put
GG.
Is this the
They thought
first
about
ballista
everything.
we've seen all tournament, by the way?
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
Ballista is secretly a good unit, guys. There's no issues with Ballista.
Is this the first ballista we've seen? I feel like it might be, unless Koya did a funny troll ballista on another game and I didn't see it.
Okay, legit, serious question. Why can't you kill the golem? We should discuss that on stream.
On the top. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. So the thing is, you need both. You need Greenfinger and the golem to hit this. The pike behind the golem cannot be cleared by anything here in one hit. It also, because there's no pike next to it, there's no pike crit, which means the sword does not suicide into it. Meaning this is a fully unbreakable wall on the pike side. The only way you kill here is if you have, if you somehow kill Tenri on one side, which I don't believe is possible.
I don't think it's possible either. But what I'm basically wondering is, a golem can one-shot a pike. A golem and Greenfinger can clear a golem. If we mark
Golem does not
golem,
one-shot
golem,
pike.
Greenfinger as used in the attack, assume the 7-sword will suicide, and assume the knight crits from the top tile and the golem attacks from the left, the bottom golem, then all we really need to do is clear the knight somehow and the swords.
I
And
think
you
it's
do
the
have two
knight is the
sides
key
to all
here
of this.
because you need 2 sides to clear it.
Sneaky golem does not one-shot pike on planes.
Oh yeah, you have to one-shot that. Wait, yes it does.
It one-shots on road, not planes. It's 100 with 5 base to spear.
Was that changed?
Oh, it is actually 105. So yeah, there's nothing to clear the pike.
Yeah, pike is fully unbreakable without excess damage, and because there's no pike crit, the 7-sword does not suicide into it.
Yeah, and the hex doesn't come in range, right?
Yep.
So
Yep, it only hits Tenri.
Can the 7-sword suicide to clear something?
Not to my knowledge, no.
This is a really well-calced defense.
Perfect
actually.
wall.
Yeah, this is actually
think I
really
would-
impressive.
Imagine if there is actually lethal. That would be so funny.
I mean,
What
that'd be
health is
just
the
as impressive.
7-sword at?
Yeah,
'Cause
because
this
this is
is
such
a-
a complicated position.
This is a stalwart board.
This is also gonna be a very funny lethal for my puzzle campaign, and it is
68%.
actually lethal here.
60%?
68%.
Talking about the sword health.
68. The 68 sword suicide into pike?
I don't
No.
believe so,
Not
because
a
it does
regular
80
pike.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, pike critable
Pike
suicide,
crit, it
but
should, but yeah.
yeah, Koya did not put pike next to pike.
I guess it doesn't matter because you can't clear both the golem and the knight from the same tile.
Yes. Yep. Koya gets to pull up the funny tech he showed me, and
Yeah, proving why Tenri still has teeth.
I mean,
I
Forget
mean,
about
this is
a
a
never
lot
going
of
to
things
work
in this
again.
game prove that Tenri has teeth. Like, just
yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, this-
I'm still a doubter, yo.
I think Zawan is still overall a better, but like, there's
I mean,
so
I
much
think-
mental damage that comes with having like a lethality focused commander.
I think Mastro just, like Sneaky put it, Mastro just didn't go with their game plan and played incorrectly for their commander.
hitting Vil with
I
Golem
still...
is not it. I think he's given up. I think he's just gonna.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was just to give the last suicide, but yeah, that is just giving up at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna get close. 65. Night crit's gonna do 45.
Yep, down 20.
I do think Tenri is mid-tier, where we put Tenri. I think Tenri can be played.
Yes.
I think you can get an advantageous position through superior tactics and timing and other things. You can leverage the pressure to do mage shenanigans. I don't think Tenri's not playable, but I think the power of T2 at 400 groove charge
Is too
is
much.
mostly
Yeah.
because Vines killed a bunch of swords.
And it wasn't walling the big army that was coming down
Also,
from the south, right?
It's worth noting if Mastro just held a unit slightly further back,
You'd be alive, yeah.
he'd be alive.
He'd still be losing though.
He'd
That's
still be
like the
losing,
thing.
but you know he wouldn't
Yeah,
lose.
and
to
what he
one
wouldn't just
golem.
die. He wouldn't straight up die to the snipe.
It's a fitting death, I would say. It's a fitting death.
Hilariously, if you built rifle this last turn, you would have lived.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Rifle supremacy.
Yeah, you built it where the right under the golem, right?
I mean, any of the sides, as long as you just ping it for some damage, I believe it doesn't kill Stronghold.
That's really
Well, not
goofy.
Ping it for 10, at least it doesn't kill. Embrace this.
He's just
Yeah,
gonna-
I don't think they
Embrace
feel
death.
lethal.
Embrace death, Mastro.
I'm not gonna win, but I'll punch you in the face with a golem.
Are we gonna get the salty waiting 10 minutes till timer? Hey, they have groove, guys! Look, Mastro has groove.
Surely, I would love to see the golem just hit the stronghold though. Like I think.
You should trap the golem there so they have to.
Yeah, Mastro does padding stats before this game ends.
Yeah.
It's just gonna let Saykoya counter kill for even more stats.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Well,
Make
I mean, he
Koya
could
try to
actually just
kill
hit
everything.
end game though.
Yeah, just
I
make
think
Koya
Mastro
hit
is
every single one of
gonna.
your units to time him out.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's your one winning condition.
I think Mastro. I mean, I would do something stylish to let them win. I think they earned it here.
The alternative
Interesting.
idea.
Actually, the other thing as well, like let's say Saykoya accidentally like misclicks Tenri onto the golem. Like there is a very, very slim chance. Oh no.
Aw, don't get to see the hit.
Oh, you
Aw.
gotta let it happen.
Disappointing.
Oh, but he
I
did
wanted-
actually
I
have a
wanted
higher
to-
kill count at the end, so
Let's
I
go.
I wanted to see Koya possibly get another T1 and make another golem hit the stronghold. That might have been possible, honestly.
Maybe it was better to let the thief actually just steal the village anyways and then route everything away. Maybe that was also something that could have been done better. Because I think eventually that thief is going to take that village, so you might as well let it happen, right?
The first thief or the second thief?
The first thief.
I think
There's nothing
Mastro
you
did
can-
the right thing with the first thief.
There's no way to stop the second thief, right? Eventually
Yeah,
a
the
thief will
second
come out
thief
and
can be
steal
stopped.
it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just better not to cap that. Maybe that's what we learned. Don't cap there.
Like, I've seen people take it out and not cap it just for that reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this game came down to a few things. One, Saykoya got a much better early game than Mastro. They had more villages, they had more economy, they had a better position. If Mastro gets outplayed by Saykoya in the opening, it's not looking so good for Mastro. And then off of that, Mastro had groove for a little while. They used that pressure, and Saykoya just playing very passively for a little while to retake Eco for like a turn or two. But Saykoya still had more money overall from the early game, still had their composition. Then they got tier 1. Mastro still hadn't used their tier 1, and the game state wasn't great for Greenfinger, who's a little awkward on this map because it's so big you can't do as much with vines.
Yeah.
and I do think just like breaking it down into very, very like simplistic terms, like just putting Tenri in the center of this map with groove is really strong. Like,
Yeah,
just-
it controls
had-
a lot.
she just
Well, it has
zones
better positioning.
everything that's like expensive. So yeah, but that was a fantastic game too. After, I would say like an underwhelming game 1 where it was interesting and then it just ended. Game 2 we actually get to see Saykoya's plan for Tenri. So yeah, it was really interesting. I really like this one, and yeah, we get to see like a cool. I wouldn't necessarily call it cheese, but a cool lethal on the stronghold where you just get this really nice setup.
I wouldn't really call Tenri Groove's cheese, because that's like part of her thing is that she has
Yeah, it's
setups.
part of her identity.
Yeah, it's like you should know that, like, oh, she can move a knight and then create your HQ. You should be wary of that. That should be on your mind.
Although, I mean, you say that, but like the default hat for her is a kind of like a block of cheese.
Okay, buddy.
That is true. I will also point out, though, that this was more of a backdoor than a lethal, since the stronghold was the target and nothing was able to hit the thing hitting the stronghold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, that just may give an idea. Can someone make a mod that replaces Tenri's sprite with a cheese hat?
Yes, please. That would be awesome.
But I mean, we think we've talked about this match a lot over the last like couple hours, so I'm gonna call it there. I think a lot of us like have food to eat and stuff. We'll be back probably tomorrow, I assume.
I will. Smiles.
And actually, we see Mastro in the events chat just now saying like he just didn't know that was a thing. So just like a little knowledge check right there.
Well, it was a good knowledge. I mean, he was already losing, so
Yeah.
it's fine to knowledge check him. I think that's a very respectable knowledge check.
Yeah, the game was over without the Tenri groove. That just kind of made it 100%.
But well played. We're going. This is actually a really interesting set now. Like 1-1. They've taken.
Yeah.
They've done 2 of the more standard maps now. So, we're definitely. I think game 4 at least. We're going to see like something a bit more interesting. Very curious to see how that's going to turn out. But thanks everybody for watching. We will be back. Saykoya in Twitch chat saying want to do this since release but never managed. First time it actually works. Oh, what an opportunity!
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming he's referring to the golem thing and not just building a ballista and winning a game. But
We need a ballista map. I'm on it.
all right,
I'm on it, guys.
we'll be back tomorrow. I am also going to stream the next game on the Groove of War YouTube channel at the same time. I figured out how to do that, so I think I can stream it to both at the same time. I'll probably do a little test stream. So if you are watching on here, or if you want to watch on YouTube in the future, like I think I'm gonna try and set that up so people can watch on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We will catch you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.